So, who want to go first?
I can talk. I was upset. To be honest, I think the first day when we started online learning, and I had kids running about, and I was so used to being in class, and I cried. I actually got really upset, um, just because I'd been so used to being in the classroom, and I didn't know how I was going to work my time at home. Um, so I get pretty distant from it. I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And then I kind of came to the realisation, we're all in the same boat. We all need to do it. I'm just going to need to find the time. So I started just finding time when the kids were out playing, or when they were settled doing something. I would log on for like a wee half an hour here and an hour there, especially at night time. I got a lot of catching up work done at night. But I just realised in myself that during the day when I was usually at class, I wasn't going to be able to do that at the same time at home because I had other things to deal with. So it was just juggling about my time and setting down new times for doing things. Like, as I said, when the kids were settled and doing other things, that was when I was able to log on and have a bit of peace and do my work. So I just adjusted to a new way of learning, which it wasn't actually that difficult. Once I got into it, it was fine. It was just the first kind of a week not having that class time and just having to do it myself. But after about a week, realising it's not going to change, I need to do it at home. I started getting into a better routine and managing my time a lot better.
Oh, that's great. I don't have a kids, so for me it was a little bit easier. I think the first week, as Lizzie said, it was the most difficult one because it was this transition from going the online, from face-to-face time to going online. I think what much helped me is me as a person who don't have a kid, so get up in the morning and do the college routine. So start the laptop at 9 o'clock and just do some work with the breaks. Of course, I think the most difficult what was a group chat when we had texting messages. I think that there where we failed. If I would recommend for a group in the second year, I would say to go for a voice chat and do most of the work through the voice chat if there is a work group, because it makes much easier.
Yeah, rather than just typing, isn't it?
Yes, it's much easier to have a voice chat. Look, you remember, Princess, how much we accomplished in a contemporary from just one voice chat, what we had. Yeah. So I think
because
that would
sometimes
be...
messages can be read wrongly. Not
Yes.
the way you're writing it is different, but somebody can read it and interpret it in a different way. So the voice chat is really, really good.
Yes, Princess, I agree completely with that. So I think that the keeping the routine, it's very, very helpful, would be very helpful for anyone who don't have a kid or other responsibilities, of course. And the Pomodoro method, just sit to that, push yourself and just work through it. The first week is the most challenging, and the later is getting much easier. You're getting used to it, to the new situation.
I just personally for me, I like Patricia, don't have any kids, so was initially pretty panicky, but I feel like actually still keeping to the college kind of office hours, if you want, was the most helpful thing. And like guys were saying there, I also missed the class, having the class, just for chatting, and it made you feel like you were on your own a wee bit, I think. If it was for columns, phone calls and stuff like that, it would have been a bit harder, but I feel like keeping engaged is a big part as well, because it's so easy to just kind of drift away, Yeah. Another thing I think is quite important is when you get, when you get in your slides and your presentations that you're going to need to watch alone on your laptop, and when you're looking at them, obviously during class time the lecturer will start and stop to ask questions, and you'll be like, oh, what does that mean, or whatever. So I felt as if you really need to write down questions that you want to ask when you're reading the presentation, so you can speak to the lecturer afterwards and send them an email and say, when you were talking about this part, what did you mean? And that's really important, because other than that, it could just, some bits will go over your head, and you don't get the opportunity to stop and ask the teacher at the lecturer at that point. So it is a good idea when you're looking through your slides, or when you're looking through the online presentations that you've got, to take notes throughout, so that at the end of it you can email, yeah, you were talking about this part, what did that mean, or any questions you want to ask about it, because it will help internalise what you've just learned a lot better.
Okay, probably we have all talked about like the negative or the challenges. I have some challenges as well, but I want to focus a little bit more on the positive, because honestly, there's definitely no replacement for any direct human interaction at all. But as our lecturers, as the students, and me for myself as a parent as well, we all work together to make this transition into online learning quite, should I call it a collaborative effort? We all work together. And even when I was feeling so lonely, I missed everybody. Like, I love sitting down with us during our lunchtime, but I look forward to us just having that, sometimes chatting online, and then the comfort of my home, learning from the comfort of my home. I'm knowing I work night shift as well. It was quite all right as well to learn from the comfort of my home. And as a parent as well, at first, at the beginning, I was finding it difficult to cope with being a student and being a teacher as well. I had that Nigerian mentality, study. I had to get my children up at 9 o'clock. You must do this, and I want them to stay there till 3. But then when we had the chat with my group, they now told me, come on, you need to calm down. And I felt better, because I had to incorporate other things, and we learned through different ways. So yeah, so I kind of found the positive in it. So yeah.
I mean, there is definitely positives about it. There is definitely positives. I feel a positive is when you're in the classroom, the lecturer will see what they have to say about whatever subject they're studying at the time, and that lesson's done. Whereas if you've got the slides in the presentation, you can literally look over that again and again and again. So you can watch it as many times as you want and listen to it how many ever times you want. So that is a positive.
Yeah, I also saw a positive one as an opportunity to exercise the study on our own time. The university at the university we're gonna have a lot of our own time to study, not so much contact time as in a college. So it's actually like a preparing for a university, for a future higher education, because it's gonna be most of it online. So it's like an exercise for the future. I saw it like that later.
And as Lynsey said earlier, you needed to have prioritize your stuff. You set time, okay, this one is more important, I need to get this done now. Or this one probably, okay, yeah, I can do this maybe tomorrow. And the other one, oh, that can be done next month. If you can prioritize everything. So that actually worked well.
I think the first what I had the most problem with, I did it as first, like contemporary issues. It wasn't so much my interest, coffee, or the subject, the topic, the challenge itself. It was because it was a research and learning new stuff, but it's not my topic. So I did it as a first, and psychology I did as a last, because I really like it and I'm learning faster things. I like the things I don't like so much. So I think the first should go things what are bringing the most trouble, in my opinion. Yeah, I think
and the lecturers are great. We've got a lot of great support, and
yes,
always going to be there and help you understand anything. So if there's any question, it doesn't matter if it seems trivial or silly, anything to give you a better understanding of what you've just read or listened to help you internalise it. Ask, because you will get a comprehensive answer, and then you'll be able to move on. And that's what they're there for.
Yeah, I agree.
And self-motivation as well.
Yeah, and no procrastination. Do not
Yeah.
say, I'll do it later. That is the number one.
If
you've got time, do it. Just do it and get it done.
Yes, I agree with that. Procrastinations is, with the online studies, is the worst one, what you need to fight with.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can I just say off the back of that as well, like you guys are saying, if you don't do something, like just do it now and all that, like I have anxiety, so see if I would be like, maybe feel like I've slacked for a day, I feel like it's important not to put too much pressure on yourself, because if I had maybe not done everything that I'd planned to do in a day, I would feel really bad about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Make me feel worse for the next day, and I just
no, that's a big thing.
Stop putting pressure on yourself, do you know what I mean? Because you'll get there in the end, and obviously we did.
No, as I said, if you don't do everything one day, you'll catch up. Like, don't stress about it at all.
It's important to remember
because
that.
Definitely important, because if you feel as if you've not done enough that day, I can guarantee there'll be more than you that's not just done enough that day. There'll be 4, 5, 6 days that said, do you know what, I never even got to look at this today, but I'll do it. I'm going to do it tonight when I'm back from work, or I've stopped dealing with the kids or whatever. You will get it done though, because it is manageable. It is manageable. I've got 4 kids and it's manageable.
Exactly.
But definitely don't stress about things that you haven't done, or you never got enough done that day, because you will get it done the next day.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself about it. Definitely not. Mental health is number one priority, all times.
I feel like speaking to Colm every week was such a big help. He was so reassuring, like all the guys on teams were, like all the teachers, but Colm in particular, just keeping engaged with him and telling him how you're feeling, it takes so much of the load off. It would have been so easy just to say, Colm, I'm feeling fine or whatever, and that would have been it, and he's not to know that I don't feel fine, but admitting that I wasn't feeling as good to him was good, because then he can give you the reassurance, then he can give you the help that you need, and I feel like that is so important.
Yeah.
I think speaking to lecturer, if you have any issues, any concerns, or you struggle with anything, speak to the lecturer about anything you struggle with. I think that's really helpful, because there are professionals who knows the ways, who deal with this kind of issues before, and they can really, really help with anything. So I think that's the most important if it's going to about mental health.
At the beginning of this thing, I lost 3 friends in a day. I couldn't say I was struggling, and I had peace writing it down on my notes, that book that we're writing for Amy. I felt like that was my diary. I found writing it down helped me, and I just wrote, I lost 3 friends, and it made me feel a lot better. Then I now sent it to on the WhatsApp team. I said I lost 3 friends. I felt better saying it out. So probably what we can advise, if you're struggling, if you're finding things difficult, or you feel you can't cope, write it down. And then when you have opportunity of speaking to your lecturer or maybe a fellow student, you can say it out. It actually does help, and I'm so glad I find it so comforting speaking out, because honestly I felt a lot better as in just speaking out the way I was, because I was really down. I felt like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't cope. And then later on, my brother now caught COVID-19. I was like, what's going on? How am I going to cope with this? But I felt a lot better speaking it out. So probably writing it down, speaking it out, it actually helps with our mental health.
Yeah.
I think your classmates can kind of help you in that respect as well. I know that when I was struggling with the contemporary issues, I had mentioned, no, I don't think struggling's more the word more than panicking. I had spoken to my group about it, and Neil in particular, was quite reassuring, don't worry, we'll get things done, blah, blah, blah. So But I found that leaning on them, and particularly my group in contemporary issues, was really helpful also.
Yes, we always support each other in the class. During the lunch breaks, we chat about our issues and problems. So I think that was really, really helpful to go through the year, because you knew that you are not alone struggling with the assessments or panicking attacks or anxieties. Then you know, hey, guys are also going through the same. So we are all, like Lynsey said, we are all in the same boat. So that's feeling of support, and I think it's also very important, because our classmates, you are often with them, and I think that's very helpful. At least for me, it was helpful.